right? And they always return to the Quran, right? Because the Quran is the source, the Quran is the truth, right? Especially in this time, you always return to the Quran, right? Surah 6 verse 14, right? We continue, right? The Bible is not the truth, right? The Bible is a creation of Jesus having walked on earth and people recording certain things, and they would have excluded a lot of things. In fact, most important things would have been excluded from the Bible. And the Bible is not the truth. The Bible is a misrepresentation of truth. The Bible must be eliminated, right? And we are focusing on the truth, which is the Quran, because we are not of the polytheist, meaning that we don't worship the sun, right? We do not worship the sun, right? Surah 6 verse 14, right? Is it other than Allah should I take as a protector, right? So the figure that was the son of Mary cannot protect you, because that figure is a limited human being. I cannot protect you, you cannot protect me as human beings, unless we are talking about your physical presence being here, right? Your physical presence being here as a police officer, as a security, right? That kind of thing, right? As in humans, right? You can only be protected by the divine source, and what guarantees that protection for a period of time, or for the period of time that you are on earth, right, is you committing yourself to righteous deeds, right, and adhering to the principles and values as stated in this book, right? So is there other than Allah I should take as a protector, creator of the heavens and earth, while it is he who feeds and is not fed, right? So we human beings eat, right, because we can't self-sustain, right? We eat for even if you're fasting for Ramadan, so on, right? You eat, you don't fast for 40 days straight without food or water, right? Or 30 days straight without food or water, right? You eat 3-4 o'clock in the morning, whenever you wake up, you eat in the evening, right? So we are human beings, right? We have needs, we have desires, we have to sustain ourselves with food, right? Right? So we eat. Allah is not fed. Allah is all self-sustaining, right? Allah doesn't need to be fed, clothed, anything like that, right? Because Allah doesn't have a human form, right? Allah doesn't have a human form, right? Indeed, right, you and I have been commanded to be the first among who submit to Allah, right? And was commanded to not be of the polytheists, right? Not worship idols, nor worship human beings, right? So whoever is looking at this message, right, this would apply to me and you alike, right? Once you come across this message or any other message of this sort from any other person, right, who communicate this information, right, whether you belong to the Vedic tradition, whether you belong to the Christian Christian tradition, right, that talk about the worship of one God only, right, the worship of one God only, right, and not talking about any supposed son or assumed son, right, we're talking about the all-pervading God, the self-sustaining all-pervading God, right, whether you belong to the Vedic tradition, right. Similarly, right, in the Vedic tradition, you don't hear people harping on Swami Dayananda Raichu 24/7, right? They just talk about the worship of the one creator, sustainer, destroyer of the universe, right? So we move on to another, move on with this monotheistic conversation, right? Till we keep moving forward.